Hey guys, Rob from Rob's Game Group here. I don't normally shoot videos at night, but I'm shooting one tonight because I ran across some products today that I kind of want to talk about a little bit. I have my normal video that'll come up on Friday morning, tomorrow morning, but just a little bonus content this week. So my wife and I were out running some errands today and went by our local game store, to which I was going to take advantage of grabbing some miniatures because I like playing with miniatures and I can always use these in my basic fantasy game. And like I said in another video, I'm getting back into Frostgrave. So there were certain things that I wanted to pick up to expand out on my Frostgrave game. And if you're a member of the Rob's Game Group on Facebook, I posted some pictures the other day of the Dwarf Warband that I'm working on for Frostgrave, 2nd edition. And I needed a few more dwarves to fill out the thieves and rogues that are going to run treasure off the table, because in Frostgrave, your warband is moving around in this ruined city trying to collect treasure and get it off the table. And low-level characters that you hire for your warband, like thieves and rogues and such, are very useful. So I wanted some, and I'm trying to keep the theme all dwarves in this warband. So I picked up a pack of Dwarf Fighters to help flesh out the warband a little bit. I'm going to do a little modding on these and paint them up. And the pictures that I showed on Facebook, I'm going to paint those up too. And I'll show the progress. And there's going to be some videos talking about Frostgrave from the standpoint of the miniature game, the skirmish game that it is, and how great it is, in my opinion. Excuse me. And also the role-playing aspect of it, because it's got a really good story. But I picked up these guys. I'm not going to open them right now because some of the stuff for Frostgrave I'm just going to leave sealed until I can get everything together. Like, I got to get my glue out. I can't remember what I did with it. It's here somewhere though. So I picked those two guys up. I picked up this cool well. And I'm going to build a piece of terrain to make like a hill that the well is sitting on. And mainly I got it because it's a great piece of scatter terrain that I can put on the table. But there's also a scenario. I think it's the first scenario in the book. It's like the Well of Dreams and Sorrows or something like that. That a well is the centerpiece of the table and the scenario. So I figured, why not? Why build a well when I can just buy one and stick it on a hill? So I grabbed one of those. These are all those pre-primed miniatures for like, I don't know, $4 a piece, I think. I grabbed 2 packs of treasure chest. So there's 8 total. And these I had, when I played 1st edition, I had made treasure markers that were just piles of gold. But this time I'm going to take these and put them on bases and paint everything up and use actual treasure chest as my treasure tokens for Frostgrave. But then I also picked up 3 other packs of miniatures, and these are the ones I really wanted to talk about and tell you guys about. And they can be used for Frostgrave, because if you play Frostgrave, you know that there's rules for wandering monsters that can be wandering on the table. So while you're fighting this other warband and trying to collect all the treasure, there's also wandering monsters that are causing problems. But I also use miniatures for my basic fantasy role-playing game. So there were certain miniatures that I wanted to get that I just needed some mobs of. And I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So there's a company, and as best as I can tell, the company is called Monster Adventure Minis. And they have these different packs. And this one is Zombaes. And these are unpainted, unprimed. They're $10 a pack for 8 models. I am going to unbox these and show you what they look like, because they're not great, but they're cheap. You get 8 models in here. There's two of each pose, and it's really just a matter of, you know, for $9.99 I could get a pile of zombies to put on the table. But I got a package of zombies. I got a package of kobolds, because who doesn't want to throw kobolds at their players? That's always fun. Same thing, 8 figures, 2 poses a piece. And I got a pack of goblins, because I needed some goblins. Now they sell these packages in 2 versions. You have the unpainted version like this for $10, and then you have the painted version for $15. You can get these on Amazon. I've seen them on there. I can't remember, the price may be different on Amazon. I'm not 100% sure on that. But most of your friendly local game stores can get them too. However, I am going to tell you, from somebody who paints miniatures, and I've painted miniatures for a very long time, the painted versions of these are 15 a pack instead of 10. And I would not buy the painted versions of these. They look horrible. They look bad. I would hate to put them on the table and anybody think that I had painted them. So I made a special effort to get the unpainted ones so that I could paint them and try to do something with them to make them look a little good. The ones that they have painted look like some of the earliest HeroClick paint jobs. They're just terrible. They look ridiculous. So there's no way in hell that I would buy them. And I cannot recommend them to you. I don't know whether I can fully recommend these to you yet. I'm going to open them up. We're going to see what the plastic's like. But if you just need a pile of goblins or kobolds or skeletons or zombies or something, it is even cheaper than the WizKids deep cut stuff to throw on the table. So let's take a look at these goblins. I'm going to just tear this packaging. Set that to the side. Alright, so let's pull the first one out. So, first one looks like I don't know if that's a female or not. Well, it's a goblin, so who cares, but looks like a wizard. I'm trying to get you some detail, but I'm not going to lie to you, there is not a lot of detail on these. And from a tabletop perspective, you don't really have to have a lot of detail. This guy's a little wiggly on his base, but they do come glued to a base. That's a little fighter dude. You got another one here with 2 blades. Let's see if I can get him in there. Again, they don't have a lot of detail. The detail looks about on par with like green plastic army men. That's about how detailed they are. This is that same wizard chick or caster chick. We have a goblin with that's kind of cool. He's got a mohawk and a crossbow. Then we got another one of the 2-bladed guys. Another mohawk crossbow guy. And another little fighter guy with a hammer. And other than the fact they are like some very small contact points on the base, so they do move a little, I will say that I am surprised at the hardness of the plastic. The plastic is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I thought these were going to be a lot flimsier because they look really flimsy. But anyway, that's the goblins. We'll set them to the side, and we'll take a look at the kobolds. Alright. This massive packaging out of the way. Pop that out. Alright, so the first of our kobolds has there we go. He has a spear, and it is super delicate and flimsy. You can see That's not very thick plastic there. Then we have what looks like maybe a Cobalt caster of some type. Yeah. He's a little sturdier. We have a Cobalt Archer. Again, the detail on these guys is very, very low. Let's see, you did that one, did the Archer. The other one we got is a guy who is, I don't know, he's got a club and he looks like he's choking himself. I'm not really sure what the heck he's doing. But that's your 4 poses. We have 2 of them. There's the other Archer. There's the other caster type. There's Mr. Choke Myself. And guy with flimsy spear. Alright, let's toss that. And the last pack I got was Zombaes. Because who doesn't want zombies, right? Let's pop that. Open that. Alright, so our first guy doesn't look like he's much of a threat at all. Because he has no arms. So I guess if you let him get super close, he could bite you. But we have no arm guy. And then we have broken neck. Broken neck? I don't know. It looks like he's got a hatchet in his shoulder or something. But he's got 1 arm, so he's already twice as dangerous as the other guy. Just the very little detail on these figures. Alright, our first zombie with 2 arms. And it's a chick. Kinda. I swear my camera's not that bad. There's literally just not that much detail on these. And our 4th pose is, wow, that's really weird looking. I guess this guy was a knight or something. But he's got this huge fist, gauntleted fist. Maybe this is the zombie version of Fisto from He-Man. I don't know. He's probably the best looking one out of the bunch though, as far as detail goes. Alright, and then we have another no arm guy. Another 1 arm guy with a hatchet in his back. Another chick. And another Fisto. So, I already know what these miniatures are like coming out of these packs. These are phenomenal. The detail on these is amazing. The detail on these dwarves is amazing. Lots of detail on them, on their weapons, everything. Not so much on these from this company, this Monster Miniatures company. So the upside is they're really, really cheap. You can get a bunch of miniatures for, you know, little or nothing. The downside is they don't have a lot of detail. And I mean, to some people that might not be a big deal. To me, as a miniature painter, I look for details on miniatures because I want the paint job to look good. And the more detailed the miniature is, the more stuff I can do to it to make it look good. These are going to be a challenge. They don't have a whole lot for me to work with. But I'm going to paint them up anyway and throw them on the table. To somebody who's not really a miniature painter guy and doesn't really care about that and they just want to kill stuff, these are great for throwing on the table in an RPG. You know, horde of kobolds running through a dungeon you're fighting. Or zombies or goblins or whatever. For the price, you really can't beat it. It is cheaper than the deep cut stuff. But you are giving up detail for that cheapness that you're paying. On the other side, though, you know, you can throw them at a cat. You know, throw them at a kid. Don't do that. They're not going to break. I mean, they're little. Some of like the tails are a little wiggly, but like the spear on this dude is just, you know, ridiculously thin. You can almost with the light from my light up here, I can almost see through this. That's how thin that spear is. But are they worth picking up? Well, it really just depends. If you want cheap monsters to throw on the table that you don't even have to paint up, you can just throw them on the table and, hey, here's my goblins, here's my zombies. A lot of players don't care about them even being painted. They just like to see where the piece is so they can attack it. Or run from it. But for anybody who appreciates a paint job on a miniature, these are going to be difficult to make look good because there's so little detail on them. Again, I stress, don't attempt to buy the painted versions because they look ridiculous. Because they're painted in they're mass produced. They're just basically hit with 2 or 3 colors and they're sloppy and they look horrible. So if you're going to get them at all, either get the unpainted ones and just leave them unpainted or paint them yourself, because even if you're a new painter, they'll be good practice models. And I mean, that's something to look at too. If you want some cheap models to practice on and you're getting into miniature painting, these would be great models to just, you know, spend $10, get 8 models to practice on. It's not bad at all. I will say the plastic, for the most part, is thicker and sturdier than I thought it was. It looks really, really thin and cheap. But it's a little thicker than I expected, so I'm pleased with that. The detail is not great, no, but I could see that through the packaging. I knew that when I bought them. I bought them just to have hordes of monsters on the table, not to win any kind of Golden Demon showcase by painting them. And for me, they are, like I said, twofold. I can use them in my games of Frostgrave, and I can use them in my basic fantasy game. So if you're looking for some cheap models, check out Monster Adventure Miniatures, or Monster Adventure Minis. Like I said, I think you can get them on Amazon, and I got these at my local game store. And they make other ones too. They have skeletons, the orcs. I just could not bring myself to buy the orcs. Even unpainted, the orcs looked redonkulous. I just couldn't do it. They looked really bad. But I knew I wanted some goblins. I wanted some kobolds. They have gnolls too. And I think I might go back and pick up a pack of the gnolls, because I want some gnolls. There's some scenarios that feature gnolls in Frostgrave, and I want to use gnolls in my basic fantasy game. So there you go. Again, like a lot of things, are they worth picking up? Well, it depends on what you want to use them for. If you don't care about something that's going to not look fantastic, but it will look like a zombie on the table or a goblin on the table, then yeah, they're worth picking up. If you're looking for high quality miniatures, then keep looking, because these are not them. And as always, I try to give an honest review of any products that I open and talk about on the channel. And I don't like to give negative reviews, but at the same time, I won't avoid giving a negative review. If I find a product that I think is bad, I'll tell you I think it's bad. And these are bad. It just depends on what you want to use them for. I needed cheap placeholders for monsters. They work for that. I'm not sure how much work I'm going to put into painting these guys, but you know, we'll see. But there you go. If you didn't know about them, now you do. That's really it. I just wanted to make a quick video to talk about the miniature haul that I picked up today. We've got some more stuff coming up on the channel real soon. Some real cool retro reviews of stuff. I don't want to give anything away yet, but there's some neat stuff that I've got coming that I'm going to be able to do some reviews on. I'm going to do some look at the book with an actual choose your own adventure or endless quest that I picked up that I thought was really cool. Frostgrave 2nd edition. We're going to start taking a look at that. And then, like I said, I have the retro reviews coming up with some older stuff. But that's pretty much it. So if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification button. Give it a thumbs up, because that helps to circulate. I'd also like to thank all of our new subscribers. We've gotten quite a few subscribers on the channel here over the last couple of months, and I'd like to welcome everybody to the RGG game group community, the Rob's game group community, because that's really what this is for me. This isn't a monetized channel. I do this just because I love talking about gaming stuff. So, and I love talking with you guys about gaming stuff. And that has panned out because I have people message me and ask me questions, and I enjoy being able to help them when I can. And that's pretty much it. Till next time, good gaming and good luck.